following the breakup with Darius Jackson, Keke Palmer talks about her unhealthy relationship and rude awakening. Keke Palmer is talking candidly about realizing who was to blame for a failed relationship and experiencing a rude awakening as a result of going it alone. In the most recent installment of her Baby, This Is Keke Palmer podcast, the actress, 30, discussed a wide range of topics, including misogyny, with her guest, Dr. Drew Pinsky. She cited her father, Larry, and mother, Sharon, as the ideal pair in order to illustrate her beliefs. Therefore, misogyny struck me hard and swiftly. My mother used to tell us as children, this is how it needs to be. And Larry would say, all right, Sharon, proceed now. As a guest on her show, Palmer told her mother, Sharon, so, for me, when I entered outside of my household and I saw that everybody doesn't really respect their wives or even women in the way that my dad respects my mom, it was a pretty rude awakening. By now, a lot of information has been released about Palmer's turbulent relationship with her ex-boyfriend, Darius Jackson. After several reported instances of domestic abuse, she was given temporary sole custody of her 8-month-old baby, Leo, and a temporary restraining order against Jackson earlier this month. We all have various relationships with friends, family, and romantic partners, and sometimes you just have to say, well, darn it. Am I the one who is genuinely playing a game with myself? Wrong. She posed a rhetorical question. Look, it takes two to tango, so how can someone know whether but how can someone realize when they're the main problem and they made a mistake? How do you recognize when you are the problem? She found some comfort in Pinksy, Keke, the person who is reevaluating themselves, trying to do what's right, contemplating they could be doing what's wrong. That is rarely the person who's doing wrong, he stated. Palmer says she's choosing happiness over everything else in the midst of a legal dispute with her ex that started over claimed verbal and physical abuse. And at that point, it was just like, I choose happiness and I choose joy, and I don't choose to go back there, she continues. And like time passes, I feel like I'm doing well, like you mentioned. I'm fine, whatever that was. On the same day that she published the music video for her revenge-themed song Serious, in which she praises self-worth, she also released the most recent episode of her podcast, titled How to Deal with Abusive Relationships, Boundaries, and Narcissism with Dr. Drew Pinsky.